Valley. Really close calls here as he kind of skirts right between those two lanes, that carpool lane and that number 3 lane. Now he resorts to the shoulder, and we'll see if CHP jumps on the shoulder with him here. But very erratic driving, extreme speeds, and now he starts to encounter that traffic that I was mentioning. There was a report of a crash up ahead. I don't see the actual crash activity, but you do see plenty of brake lights that he is dealing with here as he continues the pursuit on that shoulder, that left shoulder, making full use of that. And I'll tell you in just a second if CHP has managed to jump on there behind him. And sure enough, that primary unit and a secondary motor officer now on that shoulder, about a quarter-mile back, I would say, maybe a little bit less. You can see he's just zipping on by here, right past all of this traffic that's slowing down. It'll break up for him, and the freeway will really open up once he gets to Escondido Canyon Road, which is not too far ahead here, just another half mile off of his off the nose here. So we'll see as traffic starts to thin out once again. We'll see if he picks up the pace here, but still very dangerous driving, and obviously a dangerous individual behind the wheel of this SUV. Again, a silver Honda CRV with a suspect wanted for assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. That's about the extent of information we have on the suspect himself. You can see still really pushing it here. Speeds upwards of 90 to 100 as he makes his way closer to the Antelope Valley. We'll stand by. CHP's Newhall office now in charge of this pursuit. So once again, this was a pursuit that was initiated by the LA County Sheriff's Office. After spending some time on the 14 freeway, they decided to put it into surveillance mode. As he got off of the 14 freeway, CHP was ready to take it over, and sure enough, they are now the lead agency here as this pursuit continues northbound on the 14. We saw that attempted pit maneuver did not work out as he was getting onto the 14 freeway, and you also saw that spike strip that was not effective just before that. So they're using all the tools at their disposal here, but he's managed to catch a little bit of luck and steer right around any law enforcement in his way here. We'll see if they have another opportunity or if he decides to get off the freeway. Obviously, we have no idea how much gas is in the tank, but time is obviously also on the side of law enforcement here. So they've got all day to follow him and take this as far as the suspect wants to take it. In fact, they'd much rather see it stay on the freeway, if at all possible, and minimize the risk to other folks. CHP now pulling back a little bit and putting this into surveillance mode once again for the second time in this pursuit. Look at this, another person pulling over, saw him coming up behind there, and looks like he caught him off guard. Now he's back over, weaving through traffic here, trying to get around this rush hour congestion in the Antelope Valley, which is not too heavy, but just enough cars to really slow him down, or at least try and slow him down. Something flying out of the driver's side window there. We'll try and rewrite that a little bit, but it does look like something came flying out of that driver's side window. And CHP once again backing out of this pursuit for the time being, still keeping close tabs on him with the help of that LA County Sheriff's helicopter, which is right above him. He's going to have another decision to make here in the next couple of miles as he gets closer to Palmdale. He could jump onto the 122 or he could stay on the 14 freeway. So approaching Soledad Canyon here on the 14 freeway. We'll see if he decides to stick with it. So he just passed Soledad Canyon. Again, speeds upwards of 80 miles per hour, northbound side of the 14 freeway. Didn't have time to get over there, but he does have the 122 coming up ahead of him here, so we'll see if he decides to get over. It looks like he's getting over to the right, but he may just be trying to get around the traffic that's in his way here. Again, a little bit of congestion as he gets closer to Palmdale. Some brake lights off the nose here, but he is just going right around doing whatever he's got to do to evade police. He does know that he's been tailed, obviously, with an attempted pit maneuver and then that attempted spike strip just before that. But since then, they've really backed off and have now officially put this into surveillance mode. But he does probably have some awareness of the helicopter overhead as he continues to weave through traffic here. Getting over to the right, on the right shoulder now. Maybe going to get off here. We'll see. Now has his hazard lights on, which I did not notice a few minutes ago. Earlier had his windshield wipers going. That was uncalled for, but it looks like he's turned those off. And it looks like CHP has re-engaged in this pursuit. As you can see, that primary unit now, code 3 right behind him, back in pursuit as he gets off of the 14 freeway, and this will likely put him onto the 122 into Angeles Forest here. Looks like he's making the turn onto Sierra Highway, and it looks like he might be pulling over. Looks like he's exited the freeway, now pulling over, coming to a stop, an unexpected stop here off of the freeway on Sierra Highway. And now he's got about a half a dozen units that are going to try and extract the driver here. We'll see if he complies with their commands here. But you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Some marked, some unmarked, mostly CHP, some county sheriff, as the driver steps out of the vehicle with his hands up in the air, deciding it was time to give up. And it looks like this suspect is going to be taken into custody peacefully if he does not resist here, but it does look like he is complying. So he's got his hands up in the air. You saw him now stepping away from the vehicle. Officers with their guns drawn. Turning around, likely going to shed the jacket here in a second to make sure he is unarmed. Keeping the jacket on, stepping now backwards. And CHP is taking this suspect into custody. This is going to be resolved peacefully, looks like. They will have to clear that vehicle once they take him into custody here. Officers with their guns now trained on that SUV. They will clear the vehicle momentarily and hopefully declare a code 4 as they look through the passenger windows, creep into the back there, and sure enough, now a code 4 with another peaceful resolution to this pursuit. Again, that suspect heading to jail, wanted for assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. It was just a matter of time. They were never going to let him get too far. You saw them come up right behind him at some points, putting it in surveillance mode, trying to give him a little bit of space to play with, but they were overhead the whole time and keeping tabs. Multiple agencies involved here, cooperative work, another successful pursuit coming to an end here for law enforcement in the Antelope Valley. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.